Hey guys, this lesson is going to be on division without remainders. So we're going to look at dividing numbers with nothing left over. First, we're going to talk about some division vocabulary. On the inside, we have the dividend. This is the number that's being divided, and it goes on the inside. We have the divisor. This is the number doing the dividing. And it goes on the outside. And we have the quotient, which is the answer, and it goes on top. Now we can write these in different ways. I could say the dividend divided by the divisor equals the quotient. And I could also write it in fraction form. So in fraction form, it would be the dividend over or divided by the divisor equals the quotient. So these are some different ways that you might see division written. So the dividend is the number that's being divided into groups. The divisor is the number of groups we're breaking it into, or the number of items that will be in each group. And the quotient is the answer to the question. Now we're going to look at our division strategy. We have DMSB written on the side, which stands for divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. A fun way to remember this is, does McDonald's serve burgers? Now let's take a look at how this strategy works. We're going to work one place value at a time. If you want to draw lines between your place values to help keep you organized, that's fine too. So the first thing I'm going to look at is how many times the divisor, the number 2, will go into the first place value I see inside the dividend. So I know that 2 can fit into 5 2 times. So that's my divide step. Next, I need to multiply. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 2, which is 4. And that's my multiply step. Then I'm going to subtract. I know that 5 minus 4 is 1. And the next thing I need to do is bring down the next number. Now I'm going to start over. So I'm going to see how many times the number 2 will fit inside the number 14. I know that 2 goes into the number 14 7 times. Then I need to multiply. So 7 times 2 is 14, and when I subtract, I get 0. When you subtract and get 0, you know that you're done with the question and there's no remainder. So my answer would be 27. So 54 divided by 2 equals 27. 27 is the quotient. Now we're going to look at a different way to do the same problem, and it's really not that different. It's just a different way of organizing it, and we're going to call it the box method. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn our division problem into a box. And we're going to divide it by each place value. We're still going to do the steps divide, multiply, subtract, and bring, only instead of bringing down, we're going to bring up for the box method. So when I do 5 divided by 2, I'm still going to get 2. I still need to multiply, and I'm going to get 4, and subtract, but instead of bringing that number 4 down, I'm going to bring the 1 up. And now I have a 14 in the next box. So I know that 2 goes into the number 14 7 times. Well, 7 times 2 is 14. So when I subtract, I get 0. Because I had 0, I know there's no remainder. Which means that my quotient is 27. So that's just 2 different ways of organizing the same thing. You'll get the correct answer either way. Now, when we go to check our work and make sure our work is correct, the best way to do that is to multiply. So your quotient multiplied by your divisor should equal your dividend. So our quotient was 27, our divisor was 2, and our dividend was 54. So we need to multiply 27 times 2 to see if it equals 54. 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. I could also use the box method for that. And 40 plus 14 is 54. So that checks out. So I know that my answer, or my quotient of 27, was correct. Now let's look at another example, and I'm going to use the box method. So 93 divided by 3. I have a dividend of 93 and a divisor of 3. I'm going to change this into the box method. I know that 3 goes into 9 3 times, and 3 times 3 is 9. When I subtract, I get 0, which means that there's really nothing to bring up, so that's just going to stay a 3. I know that 3 goes into itself, or 3 goes into 3, 1 time, and 1 times 3 is 3. I got a remainder of 0, so I know that I'm done, and my quotient is 31. When I check my work, I should get 90, or when I do 31 times 3, I should get an answer of 93. So 30 times 3 is 90, 3 times 1 is 3, and 90 plus 3 is 93. So this checks out, so I know that my answer is 31. Now I want you to try the next one, 78 divided by 6, on your own. So let's go over 78 divided by 6, but this time instead of using the box method and bringing the numbers up, I'm going to bring the numbers down like we did in the first example. So 6 will go into 7 one time. I'm going to multiply. 1 times 6 is 6, and I'm going to subtract and get 1. And then I'm going to bring that 8 down. Now I can see how many times 6 will go into 18. I know 6 times 3 equals 18, so 6 goes into 18 3 times. Multiply 3 times 6 is 18. When I subtract, I get 0, which means that I'm done and there's no remainder. So my quotient should be 13, but to check that, we'll do 6 times 13, or 10 plus 3, And 60 plus 18 gives me 78. So I know that 13 is the correct quotient. Now we're going to take it up a level and we're going to work with dividends that have more than 2 digits. This first problem is 147 divided by 7. I'm going to use the box method to help me stay organized, but either method is fine. Now, 7 does not go into the number 1, so I'm going to put a 0 there. I still need to do my multiplication. 0 times 7 is 0, and when I subtract, I get 1. I'm going to bring that number up, and now I have the number 14. I know that 7 goes into the number 14 2 times. 2 times 7 is 14, and I get 0. When I bring that 0 up, it doesn't really do anything to the 7, right? So that's really just a 7. And I know that 7 goes into 7 once. 1 times 7 is 7. When I subtract, I get 0, and that's the last number, so I know that there's no remainder. So my quotient is 21. To check my work, I'll do 7 times 21. And I want to make sure that at the end, when I've added the partial products, I'm getting 147. It needs to match my dividend. My original dividend was 147, so I know that 21 is the correct quotient. Now, if I wanted to do that the more traditional way, it would look very similar. I'm still looking at that 1 first. 0 times 7 is 0. Still going to subtract. Bring down that 4. And now I'm working with the number 14. 7 goes into 14 twice. 2 times 7 is 14. Subtract. I still have that 7 up there, so I've got to bring it down until I have no other numbers to bring down. 7 goes into 7 once. Multiply 1 times 7, and you get 7. I don't have any other numbers to bring down, so I know that I'm done. There's no remainder, and my quotient is 21. So very similar processes, just different ways of organizing. I want you to try the next one, 620 divided by 4, on your own. Okay, let's go over that one, and this time we're going to use the box method. So I'm going to draw my box to keep myself organized. All right, working in that first box, I know that 4 goes into the number 6 once. When I multiply 1 times 4, I get 4. When I subtract, that's a 2. I'm going to bring it up. And now in the next box, I'm working with the number 22. I know that 4 can fit into 22 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. When I subtract, I get 2. Bring that up to the next box, and now I'm working with the number 20 in the next box. I know that 4 goes into 25 times. 5 times 4 is 20. When I subtract, I get 0. There's no other way to bring up a number, and there's no remainder left over. So I know that my quotient is 155. To check my work, I'm going to do 4 times 155. So that's 400, 220, so I get 620, which matches my original dividend, so I know that my quotient of 155 is correct. Now we're going to take it one step further, and we're going to look at 4-digit dividends. And even as the numbers get larger, the process stays the same. So let's look at 2,562 divided by 7. I'm going to use the box method with this large number to help me out. Okay, 7 doesn't go into the number 2, so I'm going to put a 0 here. 0 times 7 is 0. When I subtract, I get 2. When I bring it up, now in the next box, I'm working with the number 25. 7 goes into the number 25 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. When I subtract, I get 4. And I'm going to bring that up, and now I'm working with the number 46. I know that 7 goes into 46 6 times. When I multiply, I get 42. Subtract, I get 4. Bring that up to the next box, and now I'm working with the number 42. Well, I know that 7 times 6 equals 42, so 7 goes into 42 6 times. I'm going to subtract, and I get 0, so there's no remainder. And my quotient would be 366. Now when I check my work, that's 7 times 360 and 6. So that's 2,100, 420, and 42. So 2,100 plus 420 plus 42 equals 2,562, which is my original dividend, so I know that my quotient of 366 is correct. Now I want you to try 9,305 divided by 5. Okay, now let's go over that one. I'm going to draw myself boxes to keep me organized. I know that 5 will go into 9 once. 1 times 5 is 5. When I subtract, I get 4. Bring that up, and now I'm working with the number 43. 5 will go into 43 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. When I subtract, I get 3. Bring it up, now I'm working with the number 30. 5 will go into 36 times. 6 times 5 is 30. When I subtract, I get 0. Still have to bring that 0 up because I still have to work with this last 5. Now I know that 5 will go into 5 or into itself 1 time. 1 times 5 is 5. When I subtract, I get 0. There are no numbers left, and I got 0. So I know I'm good, and there is no remainder. My quotient is 1,861. To check my work, I would multiply times 1,860 and 1. So that's 5,000, 4,000, 305. So when I add those partial products together, I want to get 9,305. So let's see what we get. I got that 9,305, so I know that my original quotient is the correct answer. So the process of dividing is the same no matter how many numbers are in the dividend. You can choose to bring the numbers up or bring the numbers down when you're dividing. Just make sure you remember divide, multiply, subtract, and bring. Which strategy you want to use is totally your choice as long as you understand and you're getting the correct answer.